Sometimes life asks us to pause so we can become someone more. Hi friend, this is Candace Shuford Brown, and welcome back to P.A.V.E podcast, where we explore life through power, growth, vulnerability, and creativity. Before we begin, take a breath with me. Life moves fast, but this space is meant to help us slow down for a moment. Because sometimes the most powerful growth happens on a quiet path forward. If you're new here, P.A.V.E is an acronym that stands for Powerful, Augmented, Vulnerable, and Eclectic. But more than that, it's about making a path forward, even when life changes us. And this podcast has always been a place that explores what it means to grow through life honestly. For those of you that have been here since the beginning, my OGs, my deepest gratitudes for waiting. And to my new followers who are just joining us, welcome. I'm so grateful that you all are here. If you've listened to me in the past, you may be thinking, she's back. But today's episode is called Don't Call It a Comeback. Because the truth is, I don't think of this as a comeback. Because my life didn't pause when the podcast did. Instead, it became busier, complicated, and more challenging in ways that I never expected. Everything was deeper, harder, and more meaningful than I had ever imagined or even wanted. Over the 5 years since my last episode, I've gotten married to my best friend, I've moved away and moved back home again, I've experienced pregnancy losses, become a mother, and welcomed twins into the world. I've walked through health scares and trying seasons, and I've learned more about autism through my daughter and husband and the people that I love, just trying to accept them for their differences. But I experienced a life-changing loss, a loss that changed me, a loss that bent me but didn't break me, a loss that deepened me and that taught me things that I never would have chosen to learn. But through all the joy and the questions and the pain and the tears, life kept moving forward, messy and quietly. Which is why I can't help but smile when I think about that song lyric that says, "Don't call it a comeback, I've been here for years. Through all the drama and the pain and all the tears." Because that lyric feels so true. So, no, this isn't a comeback. I've been here. I've just become more. For me, becoming more sometimes means returning to the things that once gave us purpose or lit a fire within us. And having a space, a platform to connect, create, encourage, and to speak honestly, that's something that still lit a fire in me, which is why I've made it here today. You know, before my podcast pause, I used to feel like creativity meant producing something tangible, writing, making, building, being productive, at least outwardly. But I now see it as something different. I think creativity is how we keep showing up, even when life changes, even when we change. And that's why the words of Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 1 really resonate with me now. For everything there is an appointed time, a time for every activity under the heavens. So sometimes life asks us to pause, not to become who we once were, but so that we can become someone more. Creativity is our capacity to adapt, imagine, and to make meaning from life. It can be something as simple as finding a bedtime routine that works for your child, which is not simple. In fact, it can be learning new ways to communicate with someone you love and choosing hope when devastating circumstances change your life. Creativity is truly the process of bringing into existence something that wasn't there before. An idea, a solution, a relationship, a work of art. And that's why creativity matters so much to me, because it's not just about making things. Sometimes it's just simply about starting again. I'm also starting to wonder if maybe creativity is having the courage to cultivate beauty and to make meaning out of the experiences that shape us, where every quiet step forward is its own kind of masterpiece. And truth be told, that's what P.A.V.E podcast has always been about. In the past, I mainly focused on ideas and tools and education. And while there's still room for those things, this season is going to be a little different. This season, we're going to talk more honestly about life in general, tell stories, learn more about motherhood, creativity, grief, and faith, what it means to become more whole by bringing our shadows and our struggles and even our shame into the light. Years ago on this podcast, I said something that stayed with me. I'd rather be creative and rested than overachieving and burnt out. At the time, I thought I understood what that meant, but life has a way of deepening lessons. And after all of these years, I think I understand the lesson. I feel like I understand that sometimes being creative and rested means allowing myself to feel, to grieve, to pause, and to start again. Sometimes life asks us to pause, not so we can become who we were before, but so we can become someone more. And that's what this season of P.A.V.E is all about. Making peace with who we're becoming. If P.A.V.E podcast has encouraged you and you'd like to support the podcast, you can visit my Buy Me a Coffee page. I'll link it in the show notes below. Your support helps me to continue creating a quiet path forward for others. Before we officially close today, I want to share a few words that came to me recently. They came to me late one night when the house was quiet, but when grief was loud. And when I was finally able to listen to what Jehovah, love, and grief have been trying to teach me all along on this quiet path. In the quiet, you bring me to me. In the quiet, I learn how to be. In the quiet, you bring me to peace. In the quiet, you help me to see. You help me to see my baby girl, the one who came and changed our world. Wherever you are today, on this path forward. Whether you're going through sunshine or fog, I hope that you leave this space feeling a little more calm, a little more grounded, and a little more hopeful. Because even when we can't see very far ahead, every step forward still matters. So as always, let's keep growing together and pave the way to you.